Well, I guess part two regarding that article that you're talking about, Darryl. That's. Hold on. Good to get the header. It's Tuesday the 28th, January 2025. Time right now is about 1:26 in the morning. We are John C. Roseman, California, so I had to get that damn header going. Okay, so if the guy is talking about a moral case for spreading liberty to Greenland, and you say that he's trying to do this Donald Trump approach to it, trying to support it. Let him do the supporting on the damn shit. I really don't give a flying fuck. Dude, it pissed you off, yes. He pissed you off. Okay, now what? I saw the article, the title of it, because as I said before in my previous video, I'd have to hook up for uh, free papers. You know, 5 times to see it free for different articles. And after that, forget it. I'd have to pay for the subscription. Thank you very much for that one. You didn't even warn the people about that one. You really got to do that. You got to tell people what the hell they're getting themselves into before they get themselves into it. You didn't realize it? You're subscribing to the damn thing. You should know about it. Certain papers out there that I've discovered while online for so many years that you're only allowed so much before they start asking or demanding that you pay them for the articles. I can't tell you how many times I have done that in my college research, that I'd have to sign up for the free and then sign and pay for the subscription just to get more out of it. My teachers would do that. My professors would do that in college. They didn't even realize it. Students have to learn on the hard way. But in regards to what you were talking about, if there was any moral way of getting Greenland at this point through liberty and okay, put you on pause for a few minutes while I consolidate my ideas and my thoughts. I'm still researching here, following along the lines of if there's a moral case for Greenland. I was putting that into the search engine on this one, and I'm coming across different postings left and right for it. Spiritual, physical, God knows what else we got going on. Besides the kid talking about an empire of liberty, and then tries to get his version of it wrong. Uh, Let me talk about that particular portion he was talking about American history at this point. When we were taking history in our terms, in our time period between 70 and 80, we were taught under a different perspective than the perspective that the youth today have. We had the patriotic viewpoint. We were fed that Christopher Columbus was a hero. He discovered America. Well, actually, he went to the Caribbean islands and thought he discovered something anyway. And he did. But we had 20 or 30-year-old textbooks, at least out here in California during that time. So we were taught something that was already printed back in World War II and a little bit afterwards of what American history was supposed to be. Now, when I was growing up, let's do the history run on this one, shall we? As much as I can remember, we had the Vietnam War happening and just winding down to a close and crawl. We actually had the Cold War happening during that time. We had the politics, conservatives trying to get into the, actually, we were getting through office until 1980 when we actually, well, let's see, no, 76. Well, we had the election of Jimmy Carter coming in. Yeah, there she goes again. Hell. We had gas issues, we had food issues, we had pricing issues, so the economics were going crazy at that time. Carter was trying to do his economics for the long haul, long term. We had gas lines. concerning about life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, be chained to a dog. Hang on a second. Observation here, dealing with an old dog is like dealing with a kid that doesn't know his ass from a hot rock. They want, but can't communicate it effectively enough to you. Doesn't have the communication skills. I thought I could try reading the science, and she's being a fuss budget at this point. If I'm in there, she'll still fuss. I still have to keep trying to lay her down with a blanket. Try to bring her out here for her to be doing stuff on the pads. She didn't want to do that. Did she want to drink of water? She didn't want that either. No, she just wants to be fussed at. Geriatrics for you. Concerning about this particular guy, I don't know if he's geriatric or if he's actually a kid or not, depending upon his online presence over there. But my particular online presence would tell me that I may be a guru at certain things, but I'm not. And I'm learning about other things happening right now, and we have changes happening in our government. We have changes happening that are screwing people's opinion, and you're being pissed off about an opinion piece. Take it with a grain of salt. His version of history is what he learned. His version of history may be wrong to you. But this is the newer generation learning all the crap right now as it is. And believe me, there's other things that people of our generation are discovering that Trump's and the Trumplicans are screwing things up left and right. And yeah, I agree. We got things getting screwed over. But we know our history. We can teach our history to people through our videos and whatever we can do. So, continuing that. What do I know about Jefferson? Oh, what do I know about Manifest Destiny? It came out in college. It came out in the college years, the second time around. I didn't hear about Manifest Destiny at all growing up in the 70s and 80s. Whatever they were teaching to us was the Kool-Aid. What we knew. What we thought we knew. That was subversion. Only that if you started reading and hearing about the other conservative opinions, that you tried to figure things out left and right. And I had to watch the conservative shows next to the progressive shows, or the Democratic ones. Good Morning America was one of them. This week was David Brinkley for the progressives, for the Democrats, and for the old farts. And then there was the McLaughlin group, the old farts of the Republican Party. Had a hell of a time trying to decipher which one was the better accurate information there. But, it was something to watch these guys, these oligarchs of the old time party lines. And then we get into our 80s and 90s with the Reaganomics and Reagan crap, and then Bush coming in. And we learned a hell of a lot more things. The thing is, I screwed up in college, coming out of high school. 2 years. Had to work full time a year. Tried to go back in for one semester. Barely finished that one because of the classes, or actually because of the work schedules I had. And I stopped going to school. And 30 years later, after Ma passes away, or longer than 30 years, she passes away, I get to go back to college. And that's where I started learning more about the Manifest Destiny. Got into history classes, got into political science. In political science, we talked more about the Manifest Destiny, and we talked about the historical figures that we had. A lot more information during those days. So yeah, I was trying to get a little bit more of an open mind what was going on. And yeah, I was a liberal. Libturd, libtard, as they called me. So I found myself at odds with the conservatives, or the pre-Trumplican parties forming up. Tea Party, and then everything else. Now, while I was learning about U.S. history, world history, civilization, California history, all of it was filtering through. A lot of this stuff could have been read through the library books. And not in the time when I was a young kid, growing up to be a teenager, and then getting out of high school. Not during those times. They didn't have manifest destiny. They didn't. There was nothing about it. Not that I remembered anyway, not that I recalled. And besides, the school district I came out of is a joke, still. Even worse. A lot worse. I'm not quite sure if the library books, even in the public library, still has manifest destiny. I certainly hope so. But learning about it, that we had an attitude. As much as I kept trying to gather information even prior to the colonization, I kept trying to apply the theory that mankind in itself had a manifest destiny. We were cavemen crawling along the new lands, settling here, settling there, trying to make territory. We settled along the areas that actually had agricultural significance. We had bodies of water that produced fertile land, produced fertile food. We learned about agriculture. We learned about hunting. We learned about building up societies and how to build up empires of egomaniacs that need to control the land, control the people, control ideas, control. Control is for the survival. That's what we got right now going on in our Trumplicans' heads. Survival of the fittest, basically. The manifest destiny. It's not just a European attitude. It's a survival trait we got, Darryl. And yeah, you didn't probably have the privilege of going through school, but it's called looking through books. Showing people the books that you have, not just the authors, but doing a deep dive into the book. Talk to the people about the books that you've got. Give an excerpt or something. Educate the public. Not just, well, I read this and I read that. That doesn't work, dude. Yeah, I read a lot of authors, and unfortunately, in my last 10 years, I lost over 500 books I had on with my family. Collections from my aunt's collection, grandma's collection of old books, my mama's selections, and a lot of crap I'd been collecting. And it still kills me about losing that library. Somebody bought the damn thing. We needed the money just for survival. We had to do stuff for survival. And now since going back to college, there's been a lot of books I still have, read digest versions, but there's still anthologies that I have of literature, of American literature, English literature. Now I'm taking a class about African literature. Cool. Keep the mind open. Keep it expressing. Keep it understanding different points of views, including if one kid's talking about Greenland and thinks he knows about America, he doesn't know his ass on hot rock. But that's our old far thinking, because his version of it doesn't equate with ours because of the education he's getting. You're pissed off about that? Then you should send the article back to the kid saying, where the hell did you come from? Where did you get your education from? It's probably limited to what we've been, and we've been limited too. I'm trying to keep an open mind of where these brats and bastards are coming from, because they're coming from the old farts that think they can control all the knowledge that they've got, and keeping a lot of kids in the dark these days. And the kids have to go through different areas of research. They're forming their own opinions with lack of information or the information they have currently on hand. I'm not supporting the kid. I'm not denying the kid. I'm just stating what it is. And yeah, the opinion piece will be pissing you off because his education is a hell of a lot worse. And think of it this way. If he's in your territory, or you're getting this piece in his op-ed article, concerned about the other ones in the different states left and right. If That's what you're pissed about. And you would be. Because we still had that kind of that disparity of education for decades on this one. The liberals and the conservatives were always knocking heads, depending upon if it's red state or blue state. Maybe he was an immigrant in the country or something else. I don't know what his story is. I can't research it. But what I can say is what information I can research online. It's pale and limited. I still like to go for the books if I can. There she goes again. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the major bellyache coming. My world right now is taking care of a mutt. An elderly senior citizen dog. He's got the brain and mind of a child right now who wants and can't tell me what she wants. She'll just whine to me. If I put her out, well, actually to the pee pads, she'll let me know. Or if I bring her to the water, she'll let me know. But if she doesn't, then all she wants is the attention tonight. And there goes my sleep right there. The kid's going to mouth off. If you had noticed, everybody else is mouthing off. So we're going to be talking about Greenland. Let's make sure we got our facts straight concerning about the Greenland shit. We already know Trump is already a mouth at this point. The Trumplicants are the mouthpieces. We both agree to that one. He wants it because his ego wants it. He wants it because whatever his ego is demanding, that Greenland would be it. If they got minerals, it's billionaires wanting it. We both agree that. Conquest of another land. Might as well use the governments that they can to go against each other. Meanwhile, the elitists, are playing us for fools and idiots. How you doing, fellow fool and idiot? How you doing? We've been doing this thing for a hell of a long while. They talk about the hidden cabal. They talk about the dark web. They talk about, the mysterious force out there. Oh, shit, give me a fucking break. The mysterious force that they're telling us to be afraid of is them. Whoever they or them is. The ones who want to get more and more rich in their lifetime, and they don't care how they're doing it. If I hadn't taken a few political science classes through college, I wouldn't be getting into this kind of a fight at my late age. As a kid, I wouldn't have the background necessary to understand what kind of manipulations we've got going on right now, or try to figure out if the independents are right or not. And if they are right, I have to get a balance. I have to get a balance of the news coming from all sides. You know what I kept telling you about that damn thing and the different viewpoints of the same topic? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, dude. Because without that point of view, without that understanding of it, we're under a single box. We're forced under the box view. We have to get it out wider than that so we can take a look at it. You said you don't have to? Well, then you're boxed in, dude. You have to open up. Yeah, Trump and the Trumplicants are in control for right now. Understand this. We can't get the bastard out. We can't get the bastards out, period. Not for 2 years. And during that 2 years, we got to slug it out. We got to slug it out with our opinions. We got to slug it out with our videos. We got to slug it out, period. We got to teach. We got to educate. We got to let people know what's going on these days. Because if we don't, we're going to be stuck with guano, even worse. So this kid will be pissing you off. Okay, fine. They're talking about the value of Greenland. It's going to be up to the people on Greenland to make their own opinions and decisions at this point. Trump is basically pushing us, goading us. You keep forgetting this guy is a master manipulator. He's a master manipulator. He's a puppet master of sorts. But who's pulling his fucking strings? Keep that in mind. And talk about that portion of it. I don't care about some of the celebrity bullshit going on. Oh, I'm not a celebrity, not a celebrity. Bullshit. You want to get into the fight? Get into the fight. Get into the fight. Consider us influencers, podcasters. You've been doing it for a while concerning about recovery, but you push the edge because it's personal to you. It's personal to me too. Life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. Either we get into it or we stay out of it and get run over. You know what a bitch of it is when we start throwing in theology into this? That certain forms of faith and certain forms of cultural belief, they would prefer nonviolence. The problem is, it doesn't help all that much. And speaking of which, she must be obeyed is finally got out of her wrappings. So now I get to see what she's up to. Oh, there she goes. Damn it. Back in the bedroom. So she's going to be in there and she's going to whine like crazy for me. Unless, of course, she's going to turn around and come back out. No, she's not. Terrific. That's my reality right now I have to deal with. I'm not dealing with the Trumplicans walking up and down saying, we're going to bust your ass. No. They're not going to bust me just yet. Unless they start attacking the First Amendment rights. Then they got to fight. Until then, the people have got their own opinions at this point over here, and you can be pissed off about it. Or else look for the common ground, what they're talking about. And if it's full of shit, then go after their throat. Go after the jugular in the literal sense, not in the physical sense. You argue the point. You confront them. You say, I've heard your arguments, hear mine. You want me, Mama? I'm about here. Oh, she wants me to chase her all the damn time. Terrific. There goes my sleep this morning.